Okay.
Let's hit it.
Get over to your right when you get a chance.
All right, y'all. We are going live, live,
But
live,
you're gonna
live.
turn not here, but at the next, well, a couple of blocks down, you're gonna turn.
Y'all there?
So one more time, the band leader's name.
All right, y'all. We live, and I want to say to those, I don't know, it seems like it's been a long New Year's. You know, some people been ain't seen since last year. So we're gonna kick this off with the multiple topics that are going on, and one of the biggest is the political topic that's hitting us every day, every way, and we don't know any other way to put it other than the Trump universe, I guess. So the topic of the show today is where y'all West Side is at, as they say, where them fans at, where y'all West Side is at, and where y'all at. You know, we trying to break it into the new year with the robust crowd of people talking about some robust issues. And the main one I can like I just said is Donald Trump. What is going on in the Trump universe, y'all? I can tell you this much. There's been a lot of deportation. And I don't know if anybody else out there noticed, but traffic has been light. You can get from south side to west side in 25 minutes. And that ain't been like that in a long time. A very long time, y'all. Would you not agree? How about you, Tiny? You've been rolling back and forth lately? Can you hear me? Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me, Tiny?
Tiny said he was going to a party and would be able to talk.
Right,
Okay.
right,
Right.
right.
So I didn't know you were me in right then and there. That's fine. That's fine. I got you. But
And I
anyway,
want to invite everybody come to Bricks 4422 West Madison when you finish after the show.
that's right. Drinks on Bill.
Right, right.
One drink,
Okay,
right?
right. So now, DeAndre, I heard you having a ribbon breaking for your house next week.
DeAndre, can you? Tiny's talking to you,
Oh yeah,
DeAndre.
no. I was hoping that it would have been next week, but as I was telling Steve, man, we study fine and stuff. So right now we just gonna push that thing back till we ready for real. But I mean, we got a nice little piece of property over here on Madison. And we just gotta put it together. So I've been working every single day. When work has it would have been easier if I didn't have to work, but I got to put in my pain and make my coins. So, trying to figure that out while also trying to figure out all of these things. Then as a new owner, it can get a little, crazy, but shit, all I could do is what I could do.
That's
So,
all.
yeah, but yeah. So it would have been next week, but like I was telling Steve, went downstairs in my other apartment down there and started cleaning up because there was a leak from up here in the kitchen area to down there. And then when I went to try to address it, found mold back there. So I actually waiting on my brother
Okay,
when he get a
find a space.
chance. When he get a chance,
Come
he
out.
gonna come and
Right.
he gonna help me take the cabinet off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, and I'm happy for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we just it's just work. Shit, that's all it
Right.
is. It's just work.
Yep, and more.
It
You
just
should
work.
go find out.
Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna start listing from this point on. Pull it around this car. We got to go down a little bit. I thought this was it. It's not it.
Oh yeah, do your thing, Tiny. Y'all have fun for the rest of us.
All right, I will.
Yes, sir.
All right, easy.
So Bill got something going over at Bricks, huh? That's
Bricks. All white bricks. Tan white bricks.
you got
Bricks.
it. I talked to Bill the other day, but he didn't tell me he was having anything. But obviously, he's trying to.
No,
So
Bill
anyway,
got something going on. Yeah, we.
I know, right? But I was saying, has anybody noticed that the traffic has been extremely forgiving? I mean, you can get across town, around town in a matter of minutes. And I equate it to the deportation situation that's going on in America. Many of the people that are undocumented, they're not coming out.
Yeah.
You know, they're not on these streets. You could tell when you go to Home Depot, you don't see anybody standing out there.
I would also say too, we have started to change our traffic laws. I don't know if it's past city government just as yet, but they're trying to lower our minimum speed limit to 25.
What?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
From
Uh
30?
yeah, from
Yeah,
35. Yep.
I heard that too, but it hasn't passed yet.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain. I was just at Alderman Irvin's meeting last month, and they were talking about it. And of course, there were a couple people with issues because they was like, "Look, shit, it already taken me 15 minutes to get from two blocks down the street because y'all got all of the traffic lights. Now y'all want to change." And he was saying, "Well, based off the data, the suggestion is that speed kills. So going at a lower speed will save a bunch of lives." Especially on streets like Madison. He was saying that Madison is the #1 street for traffic accidents.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but that's not the reason. The reason is because it's going to be difficult for people to adhere to that 25 mile an hour and they'll give you a ticket. That's the problem. That's what it's all about, more revenue for the city.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say that as well. The other thing that I was gonna add was that um, they're trying to make the city more bikeable. So as you can see that there are plenty more bike lanes, and they've cut down the size of the street significantly, and a lot of one lanes, bus lane. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot that they've done to really make the so that folks can actually become um less dependent on cars. So that's a thing too.
In other words, to lessen the carbon footprint.
You're right. There you go. Yep. Yeah. I don't know if it was specifically for that, and but you got a lot of progressive folks up in that city council that don't even own cars that's making those decisions. To be honest, so there's that. Go figure.
Yeah. But 25, to Ella's response, 25 is going to be a hard speed limit to hold.
Hard sale. Yeah,
Yeah.
buddy.
First of all, your speedometer doesn't even show 25. It goes 10, 20, 30. So,
Right, man.
how you find the needle at 25, you're going to have to play with it, And the other side of that is, she's right about it. It's a revenue getter, to write tickets. And guess what? It won't be humans writing the ticket. It will be traffic cameras. And those cameras will be everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially, why they don't put them on Madison like that, if that's the case? You think they put them on Madison. But, hey, they're trying to figure out any way they can to raise money.
Yep, they're going to nickel and dime us to death.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, that's one of the ways. But, a city as Chicago, with the magnitude and the momentum and the people, you would think they should be able to figure out how to raise revenue without hurting the little man, you know? In the 80s, they figured it out. They were making money. I mean, you never heard of all these deficits, things like that. I don't know about the 90s, but I just don't recall it as significant as it's been in the last 10, 15 years or more. That's all he talk about is the city needs to raise revenue, taxes up every year. And, you know.
But you know what's draining our cash flow? The teachers, because they want, the teachers don't pay for their pensions. So we have to fund those pensions. If they start making the teachers pay into their pension system, like I did and a lot of other people, it would ease the burden on the regular people.
Yeah,
But
hey, teachers
Johnson,
have to pay in the pension.
huh?
Teachers pay into the pension.
Since when?
Well, since I retired in 2010, and before then, I paid into the pension.
Okay, well maybe I'm mistaken, but I had heard that they didn't pay into their pension.
Yeah, we paid into the pension.
Okay,
What
well
is
that
it?
ain't it.
Yeah,
Is it
that
that
ain't it.
they don't, do you draw off of the, oh, I know, they can't get Social Security, right?
Right, we can't get it now, but I'm supposed to get it because I worked before I became a teacher.
Right.
Right,
Yeah. If you got money built into it from other jobs, I'm sure you can. They can't
right,
deny, you know, if that was your only job as a teacher, I guess you can't draw from nothing that
right.
they want. Right. But I don't know. I don't know if this is all revolved around teachers and the issues that have been you know, put forth in front of them or by them. But I tell you one thing, we do know Mayor Johnson is a big teacher advocate and school advocate.
Yes, he is, and he's doing everything in his power to get him a heads up and keep him up over everybody else.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I see so many things being thrown at him, and I don't know if he's trying to catch them all, or if he's trying to knock them out the park, or if he's trying to deflect them. Well, maybe all of the above. Because I've been in meetings with him for the last, I don't know, month. We had we went downtown. We met with this right hand man, Jason Lee, 2 Thursdays ago, 3 Thursdays ago. Then following that Thursday, we met. I saw him at a meeting at Sankofa at the AAA B&A, and he showed up for that. And then the next Monday after that, Friday, we had a conference call meeting with him. And then that following week of that, right after that Monday, he actually showed up at Alderman Mitt's office for the Westside Black Elected Officials meeting and the Westside Long-Term Recovery Group meeting. He hung out for about an hour and a half, and the thing that blew me away the most was, I don't know if y'all had heard about a month ago, State Rep LaShawn Ford, the news reported, State Rep LaShawn Ford from the General Assembly had put forth a bill to recall the mayor. And I'm like, wow, you know, that's kind of bold, but, you know, I don't know. So LaShawn was at this meeting, and he was sitting one chair over from the mayor. Congressman Davis was sitting between them. And the mayor came in last. We had, you know, President of the Water Reclamation was there, and a couple of commissioners, Stamps, and what's his name, Michael Scott Jr., and, you know, aldermen were there, Irvin and Mitch, and so forth, and Telefero. So the mayor stands up and says, "Oh yeah, this is great. I can see all you black elected Westside black elected officials are here, all in one roof, under one roof. I see the president of Water Reclamation. I see the congressman. I see the state, the alderman, and I see the state rep." And he says, "Yeah, and you know what state reps do, right? They make bills, and just like state rep over
Come on,
there,
Ted.
huh? What'd you say?"
No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay. So he goes and says, yeah, just like State Rep LaShawn Ford right there. That's what they do. That's what they're supposed to do, make bills. But he ain't supposed to make no bill against me, the mayor. And I think that's where everything was misunderstood. That bill he made was over 10 years ago when Rahm Emanuel was mayor, and it wasn't directed for.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And and then what was funny was Representative Ford jumped up and they brother man shook hands and hugged and all this. I'm sitting right in front of him, like at arm's length. And I'm like, what's going on here, man? But it just goes to show you how the media, they presented the news. State Rep LaShawn Ford from the Illinois General Assembly has put forth a bill to recall the mayor, as if he just put this bill forth to recall the mayor that's standing. And then of course LaShawn got up, Representative Ford got up and said, I put that bill out 10 years ago. It wasn't for this mayor specific. He said it's for any municipality in the state of Illinois. If they needed to recall a mayor, they have the ability to do that once this bill passes. And he's like, no disrespect to Mayor Johnson, blah blah blah. This that. I was like, wow, man, because it just looked like a really tense situation, knowing that this was out there in the air and then the mayor sitting right next to it. I'm looking at both of them like, man, what's going on here, And then when the mayor went into his soliloquy about that wasn't about me, I understood. But nevertheless, politics at its best in Chicago and throughout the country.
Yeah, them boys weren't gonna box though. No.
I wish I could have remembered the mayor's exact words, but he's looking around the room and he's like, yeah, I wish he would have, like that kind of look. And I'm like, what's about to go on here, But nevertheless, I was happy that he actually hung out at the meeting longer than he did, for an hour and a half to discuss the issues that we were trying to put forth and get solidified. But when is DeAndre, when is election? When's that election coming up with the aldermen, the mayors, and everything?
27.
Okay, so 27. So technically, the end of this year, people are gonna start campaigning, going into they got about 2 years really, right?
Yep, 2 years left.
2 years. And people are gonna start campaigning in the summer or September or what?
Giannulli is already campaigning.
For what? Election?
Me. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you about him. I'm glad you said that. I told some Greek people I know about he's looking at running for mayor, and they said, get the hell out of here. He and his dad are bums. They stole a lot of money from Greek people. And they were just going in, he's a piece of crap. And I'm like, wow.
Who they talking about?
Alexis Giannulli is the Secretary of State that he took over.
Oh, Giannulli isn't. Well, he's already Secretary of State. Why do you want to be mayor?
I don't know. Why you give a Negro a rope? You want to be a cowboy? Why?
More money.
There you go. But hey, that guy's a short guy. He's barely 5'3".
They want no short politicians. Don't want no short politicians.
Yeah. Have you seen him in person?
Nah.
I was at an event in last spring at Navy Pier. He was there, and I looked over. I'm like, that's Giannulli. And I'm like, wow, I thought this guy was a lot taller than this. But short guy. And I can tell you, it's going to be a uphill battle for him because his dad was the guy that had that bank, that Greek bank that went defunct and tried to get out with every money that was over there by the backside of UIC over in Greektown.
Yeah.
You know where Giordano's is located?
Yeah.
Right
Oh yeah,
right
yeah.
down the street, around the corner from there. not on Halsted, but the next street west of there. And
Okay. What's that? Green? I think that's Green Street.
that's right. That may be it because I think it's the very first street. But that I think it was 10, 12 years ago, maybe even 14. They went belly up and they tried to walk out with the people's money. The authorities caught 2 Greek. I don't know. I guess they were U.S. citizens. They were flying back to Greece, but they had taped all the money to their body, and they caught them at O'Hare with all this money tied to them. To the bank. And I'm like, wow, man. But a lot of people, especially Greek people, they're in the uproar about that 10, 15 years later. You know, I don't know. We see how this pans out. Other person I'm thinking, and you tell me if I'm wrong, DeAndre, Gilbert Villegas.
Oh, Villegas?
Yeah, I think he want to flirt with the idea of running. Because I heard
I can see that.
He's been putting out some
I can see that.
some conflammatory and as Harold Washington would say, lugubrious and conflammatory rhetoric. Notice, you know. And you know her as chief of staff. Both of us know as chief of staff, Vanessa, right?
Yeah.
And I was talking to Vanessa sometime last year, and we had a conversation. Vanessa kind of let it slip because she said to me, "Yes, you know, Steve, me and my husband, we're going back to Puerto Rico, you know, next year." I'm like, "Next year?" And I'm like, "Didn't you just get the job as chief of staff like a year or so ago?" But you know, who jumped ship before the time to jump ship? Unless you know the ship's about to pull off and not come back, you know. So that
was in a different direction.
Exactly. So I was like, wow, chief of staff, they hold out, you know, to the next election.
Right.
Unless and then think about his district. The man's district is just one street.
Right, Grand
on the left side of the street and the right side of the street. That's it.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, how they gerrymandered him. His go around was kind of crazy.
Right from the right in the Brickyard, his office, all the way down to Western and Grand. Fullerton and Grand to Western and Grand. But typically when they gerrymander you like that, they're trying to
silence you.
Oh yeah, they're trying to get you the weakest link, and they're trying to get you out, or they're trying to get you to bump somebody else out. You know, and then they're gonna remap it again. But nevertheless, that's the local. I had a meeting with Davis yesterday, along with some other West Siders, Carl Brinson from the West Side chapter of the NAACP, Virgil Crawford from
Virgil still around? What happened to Virgil? Oh my God, what happened to Virgil? Where Virgil been at?
Man, you know Virgil, in again, out again,
back
again.
Oh my God, happened to Virgil.
He's on the scene. He's doing, but actually, you know, that's Jackie's go-to guy. When she, you know, in other words, he's the hitman, you know. When Jackie
hitman for who?
For Jackie Reed.
Oh, okay.
When she wants something done, she go dig Virgil out of the mob closet, you know, the organized mob closet. But he's been working with her, actually been working with us. And I talked to Virgil today about some organizing initiatives.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about organizing because of the state of the union.
To the federal government.
Oh yeah, and but let's dial this back a little bit. So let's talk about. They said there was 100,000 people being laid off in the federal government. Barry told me it's 75,000, but okay, 75, 100. They probably mean to get to 100. If he said 75. But my point to that is, he said that the fall off rate was supposed to be 5% anyway within the first year. and they're only at 3% with 75,000. So whatever's being said and done with this, it's about we're laying off people. We gotta cut back. It's all a farce. It's not real. It's a wave they trying to ride to say that they made the wave. When we all know waves come and go anyway, and they're making it bigger than it is, from what I was told.
Right.
Because everybody's like, oh, how are you gonna get rid of all these people from the government? Huh? Well, what you really didn't know is 100,000 people always end up being, falling off.
Right. With a new administration, the turnover is generally high anyway.
I don't know if he was Barry. Come on, I don't know where he got that information from, but I don't know if he was saying with a new administration or with any administration, the federal government usually loses about 5%. What they call it, fall off or matriculation, is it? What is it called? Anyway, but and right now it's only at 3%. So I'm like, why do they play these games where they try to? Well, here it is. We know Trump is a big marketing guy, and he's going to try to ride anything to make it look like it's in his favor. Like the other thing I heard with the immigration and deportation, I heard that he let some people come back. Now, what was the reason for letting them come back? I don't know. And why did you pretend to let them go and then bring them back? What's that all about? Yeah. I mean, and it wasn't, from what I was told, it wasn't like, oh, I made a mistake on some people and then I had to let them. It was like, no, they deported them so that it can look like they deported them, and then they let them come back. And of course, those individuals are not going to come out and say, oh, yeah.
For you with your superior skills,
oh, man.
It'll be way too hard.
I'm not going to say, this is part of the whole game, part of the rules that we were working on, because they want to stay here and they don't want no problems. So many things, man. Did you guys hear the little boy, Elon Musk's son, when he brought another thing that was said is this is the first time there's ever been a press conference held in the Oval Office by anybody other than the president. So Elon Musk is in there ranting on about something, blah, 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 this, that, the other, that, this, the other. And his son's in there, the 4-year-old, and he says to Trump, you're not the president, shut your mouth. And I'm like, whoa, where did this kid get that from? Then he cursed at him. The little boy cursed at him. I'm like,
oh, he wilding.
Yeah, he told him.
Elon, get your son.
But why was he in there doing the press conference in the Oval Office?
Right.
I mean, it never happens like that. It's usually the president that speaks from the Oval Office, on any account. But yeah, the little boy was just ranting on and on. He cursed at Trump and called him, did something. I don't know what it was. But yeah, man, this has been, I think they said this is the first 100 days. Is it? No, not the first 100 days. Has it been the first 100 days? Yes, it has, right? Since November.
No,
he got elected in January. 100 ain't even until April get here.
Okay, so I don't know where I saw the 100 days. Because I'm thinking, like, they would have went all of December, all of January, and then we ain't even all the way through February yet. And when was the election? Like the 15th of November or something?
Yeah, roughly. I think maybe November 7th. I'm thinking, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Nevertheless, it's not the first 100 days. But
no, definitely not 100 days for sure.
A lot been going on, period. I mean, they say he's signing executive orders like he's signing autographs or something.
Yeah, he did it on his first term, though. He did the same thing. Ain't nothing different.
Mm-hmm.
He did the exact same thing the last time.
And then the whole West Bank, Gaza, Palestine issue. Yeah, we're just gonna take it over. And Palestinians got to find somewhere else to move around. You know, just move around. I mean, you can't be here. I don't know where you're gonna go, but you can't stay here. Party's over. And I'm like, wow, man, did he not put everybody in a vulnerable situation? You just tell people that's been there for eons and millennials that they can't be there no more. You can't die where you were born, you know, because the place would be too pretty for you. It'd be too good for you to be here. We're gonna dress it up like the French Riviera, and none of that's for you. That wouldn't be for you. It's like, wow, man.
Well, that's what folks wanted. That's what they voted for.
Well, you hear a lot of people now saying, well, you know, I hate that I voted this way, and I hate that this, and I, you know, this is how it works.
Elections have consequences.
That's exactly what
Alexa.
David said that he says it all the time. Elections have consequences. But what back to him, Congressman Davis, he did make mention. He said Illinois is probably, especially the west side and the west suburbs, we are in a good position because we have some the key representatives right here with us on the west side. We got the mayor living on the west side. We got Congressman Davis, who's a strong representative from the 7th District. We got Speaker of the House, Chris Welch, right out in Westchester. We got Don Harmon, the Senate Majority Leader, right here in Oak Park, right next to us. We got Kimberly Lightfoot, the black, she's the black, what is it?
She's Senate Majority or Minority Leader.
Leader, but the Black Caucus too, something with the Black Caucus in the state, along with Camille. Camille got some rank up in there too. She's right here on the west with us. And then, you know, if we went down the line, we got a black lieutenant general. I mean, what was it?
Lieutenant Governor.
Lieutenant Governor, yeah, Lieutenant Governor. But I don't know where she lives. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, but now I'll say this: the biggest issue with all of that is that we have all of that, and we still are in this position, though. It does. I mean, what comes of it, though? You know, we got a lot of black representation in very powerful positions, and have had it for some time now. But you never see the result of it.
Well, the key to it all is they have to come together to come up with a resolution to make change, to fix some of these problems and issues. We're gonna say black too, because Don Harmon, you know, I guess not black, but being that he's right here on the west side, I think he was trying to say everybody's right in the same geological area.
Like some of the most powerful individuals sit right here on the west side, basically.
Right, and we should be.
Matter of fact, yeah, the highest ranking individuals in respective offices in respective governments actually do sit on the west side of Chicago.
Right, all the way from the governor's seat all the way down to the mayor and the aldermen, what have you. But you know, the key is how do we get these computers to talk to each other so that they can make some functions that we need happen, and that's the important part.
Right.
Making, you know, getting all these key people, and that's what always happens. I've been seeing it for decades. I remember when I ran for alderman, and I was on the radio, and I said to the audience, I said I would like to be the alderman of the 29th Ward that can at least supply you with the basic necessities in the ward. Make sure that your garbage picked up, the trash is cut off the street, the lights are working on the streets, you know, rodents are taken care of, and snow is removed, and so forth. The main things and the basic necessities are kept up.
The main thing.
Exactly, right? So then Congressman Davis was in there, and he was advocating for Chris Taliaferro. That was his candidate of choice, and he said, well, Steve, you know, I live in the 29th Ward, and I like to think of my alderman of a lot more, get a lot more out of my alderman than that. And I said, well, that's more than possible, Congressman. I said, you working on the federal level and me working on the local level as an alderman, I'm sure you and I can have a conversation so that we can make things better for the district and for the ward, working together. And he kind of shook his head like, okay, touche. And then, of course, Chris Talaferro came on and spoke. I don't know what he said. Whatever it was, don't even matter because he ain't speaking to nobody. And then, we move 8 years later, the Congressman says, well, this alderman and I haven't had a political conversation in 8 years. What? You think?
Damn.
Didn't I say that 8 years ago? So, it's important that different levels of government speak with each other and talk about the problems. Maybe they can help. And you never know if they can help if you don't even go to them. I think they're so siloed that they're comfortable just saying, stand in my lane and I do what I need to do in my lane. And a lot of times that's not what it takes. You got to pass the baton. Yeah, stay in your lane, but be ready to pass the baton so that you can give this person what they need to support their ward or to support their city or to support their county or to support and get it to them directly, because a lot of times, especially on the federal level, they say, we had X amount of money come to the county. So by the time they get to the other little areas, it's all watered down. And it's like, well, we really needed X amount just for this area alone. But nobody had that conversation. They just dropped off a big truck of bananas or money and said, here, you figured out what you need to do with it. And then they call it earmarked, So, we have the right people. We just need to have the right people talking to each other, It's like a band, if everybody plays different notes and in different keys and a different song, the drummer's playing, I don't know, Star Spangled Banner, the trumpet player is playing Stevie Wonder songs, and somebody else playing George Clinton Parliament. What is going on? No one is in sync. Everybody's making music, but no one is playing the same song or the same note.
That's definitely what has plagued us in our political aspirations in terms of the development of our community. It's interesting you was talking about the Black West Side elected officials meeting because, it's cool to meet, but do y'all be meeting up actually talking about progress and working together and what kind of legislation you drafting that can coincide with what I'm drafting? You know what I mean? What's the point? Right. So y'all just getting together for breakfast, basically. Y'all want to shoot the shit with each other and take pictures to make it look like it's a unified front.
So they have a good lunch or they have a good breakfast. Yeah, that's what I said to myself too. I said, what's coming out of these meetings every month? You meet 12 times. I'm thinking they meet 12 times a year. At the most, 4 times a year, quarterly? I don't know, but what's coming out of it other than, you got a good free lunch or good free, lunch. I think they meet for lunch. And I'm like, are they talking about the real issues and are they ready to activate and move on the real issues? Or I could tell you what I suspect is going on. They all show up in the meeting. They all look around. Oh, yeah, we got Congress. Oh, we got the president of this. We got the commissioner of that, the leader of this. And then they go, oh, yeah, a lot of people are having problems with this. And then they leave out saying, well, the person in there that got the ticket, you know how when you go to an event and everybody orders food and then nobody puts up any money because they look at the other person with the most money and say, well, they're going to take care of it. They're going to pay the bill. And I think that's what happens. They really don't put it down in writing or take minutes or whatever and say, I'm gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and I'm gonna make sure I get this to you so that we can all get this done. They just kind of talk about things and then say, well, we thought the person on the highest authority was gonna get it done. No.
That makes sense.
That's what I think happens. I really don't know, because I'm sure they've been meeting for over 2 decades now. I mean, as far as I can recall, we've had nothing but a multitude
That sounds
of
about right.
black elected officials. But yeah, man, it's a political conundrum that's going on on the federal side. You know, I think it was Wednesday. Arnold, were you on that meeting? The town hall meeting the congressman had, I think it was Wednesday night. Might have been a couple hundred people on that call. Attorney General from Minnesota. Was it Minnesota or Wisconsin? I can't remember.
No, I missed that meeting, Steve.
Yeah, that was a really interesting meeting, because the congressman had called in on the Zoom from DC. I guess they were in session. They had to vote on some things, and he was just saying, you know, we really got to put the pedal to the metal and hold people's feet to the fire, because it ain't gonna be nothing nice that's coming down the pipe. And then Virgil Crawford was on there from West Side Health Authority, and he said, you know, yeah, we got to organize. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But the big question is, everybody's saying, what do we do? What do we do? And other people saying, let's activate like this. It just doesn't make sense. Everybody's moving in multiple directions. For what? You know, for what? Look, what's obvious to everyone, and it was said in that meeting, Democrats don't have the House. Democrats don't have the Senate. The Democrats don't have the executive branch, because Trump's president. Democrats definitely don't have the judicial branch, because for some odd reason, the Supreme Court has become partisan. And now they're showing that they're Republicans through and through, you know. So I don't understand what we think is going to come out of this, other than who's in charge is going to do what they're going to do. Now, there was one guy that said on that call, he goes, well, you know, everybody needs to just go out and reach out to your Republican representative and let them know how you feel. I'm like, no, that ain't going to work. What made you say that lame brain idea? Reaching out to your representative, and you're not a Republican, he ain't going to care. He's going to spin you off and go, oh, yeah, come leave your number with my secretary. Yeah. You know, we'll get back to you. Where you live at again? Yeah, right. You know, he don't care. Then you got a lot of Democrats saying, oh, we should just flood their phones, their phones and block this. Yeah, okay. You get another number, and the people that's trying to reach them, he's gonna make sure they get reached. You know, I mean, if you do anything, you gotta be in their face. You just gotta go out and be in their face until you wear them down. And another thing Congressman said was, what people don't realize is, we didn't really lose the race by a lot. He said it wasn't like there was a shellacking. He said the numbers were really close. He said, don't misunderstand that you got really beat down. That's not what happened. And people still need to have some faith, or what do you want to call it? A belief that, you know, there's still hope. Yeah, hope.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't a crazy number. It's just the landslide of it all, though. You lost everything. Goddamn it, that's all. You lost everything.
Yeah, but you know that everybody's still pushing for midterms, because all of a sudden, I don't understand the American people. We flip flop all over the place. We'll try this, then no, I don't like that. Let's change that now. You know, the Senate and the House probably going to change. He also said there are 3 seats that are vacant right now in the House.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, you know, there's 3 Republican seats but they're vacant, and there's not 100%, but he said more than likely they will probably end up Republican.
Yeah.
But they're vacant. So that's again, media drives all of this crap, and the things that are being said in the media just have people with their heads spinning. It's an ongoing scenario. Trust me. I think I told you guys about the Palestinian guy I know came by the office a couple weeks ago with a friend of his, and they were so excited about the ceasefire. And I was like, yeah, okay, that just means everybody's on the respective sides. They're just reloading, That's all that means. It ain't over. It's just hold on so I can get a bigger rock, to throw at you, or a bigger stick, or a bigger bomb, in so many words. And then I asked them, I said, hey, man, what you guys think of this president? And they were like, oh, Trump's going to get this country in order. And I'm like, huh? You voted for him? They were like, yeah, yeah, he's going to get this country in order, I'm like, wow, you voted against your own interests? I said, you do know you're at the top of the menu.
But
He's
see,
like,
that's
what?
the problem, though. See, the problem was never the thing is the problem was that the Democrats just wherever the direction of the country was going, it turned everybody off to the point where they had to go this direction. Maybe it is against their own interest, but they're like, nah, I don't like this. Whatever it was, they said, no, I don't like it to the point where I'm willing to go and vote for this maniacal egomaniac that is probably, without even thinking about it, probably going to be ruling this country as a measure to get back at people that tried to sue him and all other stuff, which is kind of what he's doing at the moment. But, folks weren't considering all of that because all they cared about is the price of food was going up. We were constantly having discussions about what a man and a woman is. Our kids are, constantly failing in school, and America's getting more unhealthier. It's just it's problems that go well beyond, what they see Donald Trump doing in a presidency, and versus what they feel like he could do to try to right the ship, if you will. So it's just and same thing though, and I say the same. I'll say this last thing. And the same thing can be said on the Republican side of things. You mean to tell me y'all couldn't put forth anybody else but Donald Trump? Same thing with the Democrats. Y'all couldn't find anybody but Kamala and Joe. Yeah.
Right. I hear you. But you when you said right the ship, or the ship getting made right, because guess what? When Donald Trump said he's gonna take over Gaza, the first thing I did was text my guy, a Palestinian friend of mine, and I said, hey man, seems to me, I use Barry's phrase, seems to me Donald Trump is about to get your country right, where you came from. I said, because he sure can't get shit right here because the goddamn price of eggs still high as hell and gas is too. So
now, I can't blame him for the eggs. We went through bird flu.
Nah, it's on his watch. He gonna get that one. That's how it always works.
That's how it worked though. You ain't lying.
Everybody always complain about what happens when the president was. Man, I had pink eye, man. Yeah, man. It was during the president's reign. Yeah. Maybe you need to wash your pillows. Stop doing what you're doing. You gonna blame that president? Really? But that's what people do. When presidents in term, people they blame everything on
you. You're right, though. You're right.
But yeah, he gonna get that one. He gonna get the eggs. What is it? A dozen eggs is $24? What's the deal? I'm not understanding.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's what it is.
I'm not a big egg person, but I guess you gotta have them for almost everything we eat. But
yeah, I'm a protein guy, so eggs is definitely one of the best sources of protein. You know, if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna take it for your breakfast. And
Right.
yeah, them numbers is ridiculous.
So
And I'm
so
trying to figure out. And look, if you hustling eggs, you doing it right now.
I heard
The
somebody
egg
had
hustlers making money.
40,000. I heard somebody had stole $40,000 worth of eggs. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
wow,
saw that. Yeah, I saw
egg,
that.
egg thief. What the heck? But this is my thing with the eggs. Okay, so you need the protein, but do you also need chicken? Because this goes back to the whole riddle: which came first, the chicken or the egg? I mean, don't we need chicken? The eggs ain't really the problem; it's the chickens, right?
Yeah, the chickens got the bird flu and they died. So,
So that's the real problem: the chickens.
well, what did we get eggs from? Chicken,
Right.
birds.
But everybody just go to the common denominator and they say, "Oh, we the eggs." Well, we got a shortage on eggs. We got a shortage on chickens. And wait a minute. So why is the price of chicken gone up? Has that gone up?
Not yet, but it will in a
Nah,
little bit.
There you go. That's what I'm
You
trying to
know,
figure out. At first, chicken or the egg? Really?
it will. Well, I think they're getting the chicken from their storage, like it's frozen somewhere, and they're bringing them to the stores.
What?
That's what
That
I say. Because if the like this farm in Illinois that killed all those thousands of chickens, that should have an impact on the price of chicken, but it hasn't so far.
hmm. Well, it's gonna trickle down, I guess, because like I
Yeah.
said, everything's tied to other things. And just like we were saying, back to the layoff. The first thing popped in my mind is 100,000 government workers lose jobs, and they can't get unemployment because they opted out to get the buyouts or whatever they got. I'm like, well, where are they gonna work? Because you can't go into manufacturing because ain't no manufacturing in America like that. 100,000? Yeah, throughout the country, I don't know, 10,000 per big city. Yeah, maybe that's not a lot. You got big cities that have over 5 million people already. Yeah, 10,000 per big city. Then maybe they'll find jobs in some kind of production, manufacturing, private sector. Private sector is not hiring like that. Would you say?
I don't know. I haven't seen a jobs report in a minute or heard of it to see what industries are actually doing well. I don't know.
Hmm. Well, I'll tell you this much: the deportation industry is because they moving. They say they trying to move 4,000 people out a day. You talking what? 120,000 people a month? How how logistically can you even? Well, I guess it's possible. Look at the airports. More than a million people up in the sky at one time, right? With all the
Yeah.
planes across the earth. So yeah.
How much is it costing us to move those few people? Because it's not as many as he think that he said it was going to be.
I heard it's some double digit numbers from what I heard per person.
So isn't that adding to the deficit?
You would think so. I mean, a plane, those big planes, they put them on C1, what they call C-150s or whatever they call them. Those planes, they gobble up some gas, boy, and the technology for them. I mean, it's like $30,000 just to get it off the runway, to get it in the air for a half hour or something like that. So,
And I
hey,
heard somebody was saying that, the people that he's really sending back are the ones that's in prison and or the ones that they can easily get a hold of. They're not searching because it's impossible to search everywhere and look for these people. They don't have the manpower to look in every nook and cranny for these illegals.
Yeah,
And
but you know what? If they really wanted to do it, they could just follow the phones. They could, everybody got a phone. Everybody's being tracked. They could find you anytime, anywhere, because of your phone right now.
Yeah,
People don't,
yeah, they can. Yeah.
they don't want to believe it. I was just telling the guy the other day, he was up at NAC and he asked me about, he said, you guys take electronic payments for, the rent? And I'm like, nah, not really. And I said, cash. And he goes, cash? Man, ain't nobody using cash, man. Only people using cash is Mexicans, man. And I'm like, I said, let me tell you something, man. Let me ask this question. I say, how old are you? You look like you're about 38, right? He's like, no, I'm 39. I said, okay, we're close. I said, yeah, I went back to the whole, man, I come from an era where we had one phone in the whole house.
Yeah, real shit.
Cord to stretch from every room. And I said the reason we had one phone because you knew somebody would be trying to ear hustle on another phone because that's how the phones work. If the phone rung, you pick up the one phone, you know you on it. But if somebody else picked it up in another room, they could hear everything you saying, and you'll never know it. So people just had one phone because they didn't want to pay for and then you had to pay for that other phone. You had to pay for the line, and you had to pay for the use of that other phone that couldn't do nothing but let two people be on the phone at the same time talking to somebody on the other line. But it wasn't even worth it. So I was going there with him saying, this is where I come from. And I said, but did you know your cell phones, all of your phone messages, your text messages, and your what do you call it, your voice messages, they have to be saved. And this is mandated by the federal government for 10 years by all of the phone companies. T-Mobile, AT&T, Boost, whoever they are. They are mandated to save everybody's text messages and phone calls every 10 years. So when 10 years run out, they dump a year. Next 10 years run out, they dump a year. So, and the reason I know this, because when I went back to school for my master's some years ago, there was a guy in my class, he said, I'm a cellular phone architect. And everybody's like, oh, so you design the physical phones, how they look? And I said, no, we design the systems and the processes and how it works. And he told us this in the class. This is mandated by the federal government. So it led me to think, why does the federal government want to keep your text messages and your voice messages? So they could use them against you. They ain't using them for you.
That's facts.
So why? And obviously, it's easy to store all of that because that's billions and gazillions of bits of information. You know what I mean? People leave voice and text messages, and they're being stored. But again, that's to be used against you, not for you. And when I told the guy that, he was like, "Yeah, man, I see what you're saying." I'm like, "It's too late. You're of the age. I mean, he said he's 39. So let's go back 20 years. 20 years, he would have been at what? 19? Pretty much, right? 19. Guess what he was doing? He was getting a hold of a cell phone. He was doing whatever, taking pictures of. Oh, look at me! Look at my lunch. Well, look at me and this girl. Then 2 days later, look at me and this girl. Wait a minute, dude. Why are you taking all these pictures of you and these girls? And then you putting it out there. Because that's the mentality. I could be seen. We live in an I can be seen world. But nobody realizes you could be seen and it could be used against
you. Yeah.
Everything and every bit.
And now with AI, and the other tools that go along with, you can actually now augment people's photos to make them appear that they're doing things and all type of stuff. So yeah, it's getting It's actually getting a bit more dangerous.
Yeah,
With all them photos and shit. So
you could set it up. You could set it up, and that's the scary part. I was looking at something today. It was a song that was made by Donny Hathaway and I think it was Bird Flack or something. But I'm looking at the video, I'm like, that's not Donny Hathaway. And I'm like, looks like they're lip syncing. Then it was AI. I figured out it was AI. And somebody in the comments said the same thing. That's not Donny. I'm like, man, we're getting to this point now where you can doctor up everything to make it pretend to be that it was something that you wanted it to be, and that it really wasn't. That could be bad. That could be bad. You know, it goes back to like when we were little. They used to say, "Don't believe nothing you see on TV. That's all pretend. Television is not real." And it's like, but what about the news? Television is not real. Don't believe any of that. Now you gotta go with that. Now don't believe any of it, because if you believe it, it could be false. Anyway, y'all, what you got going today, DeAndre? We got anything you got hot and juicy to talk about?
Nah. I ain't been really had nothing going on.
Other than the house situation, huh?
Yeah, trying to get it together, man. Every day, putting a little pain in.
Where you say the house is? It's on Madison and what?
5044 West Madison.
5044. That's right off Laramie.
Yeah. LeClaire.
LeClaire is an apartment building or a two flat?
It's a mixed use. So commercial on the ground level. Then I got 2 apartments above it.
Oh, okay. Which one you gonna stay in?
I'm on the 3rd floor.
Oh, Lord, no.
Yeah, I can't have nobody running over my head.
Yeah, but them 3 flights of stairs with groceries and stuff ain't no joke.
That's I work out every day, and you're right. It is. It's man, listen, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
Look, he did the right thing. As a landlord, you never take the lower level, because if you take the lower level, you'll never make money, because you'll be complaining too much about everything you hear and see when somebody's going to the above you. Oh,
especially if they have hardwood floors.
Yeah,
we got the vinyl joints covering the hardwood, so yeah.
Okay.
No, he did the right thing. They tell you landlords always take the top level so you can have a sound mind. But right now he got a sound mind and he's getting healthy, because he on that 3rd floor.
Man, I moved from 1 3rd floor to the next. That's exactly what I did.
No, believe me, landlords don't want to be above below their tenants, because you'll be getting rid of tenants every time you hear something. And sound mind and get your money and get up top.
Well, at least you got some income coming in when you finish to help with your mortgage and stuff. So that's a wise idea.
Yeah. This definitely was going to be the last one that I was looking for this particular time, because I started this search 2 years ago and just wasn't landing anything, and this was definitely going to be the very last one that I took a look at. So and it got its issues, but we don't make it happen though. We can make it work. So.
Well, nobody buys something that don't have issues. You always have to do improvement and work on it.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. I only say that because this was supposed to have been rehabbed, and they just did a poor job of the rehab. That's all.
ooh, can you sue them? Go back and get you some money and make them
You
do
know
it
what?
right.
I just reached out to the lawyer this weekend, so hopefully he called me. I don't know, Tuesday. I don't know when people get back to work, but yeah.
Yeah, you need to get some. They need to be accountable for that shabby work.
For sure.
there's a disclosure form that every seller has to sign, you know, and they sign off saying, yeah, everything's good, and as I know it, and blah 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 blah. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna say, well, I didn't know, I didn't recall. They're gonna go to that whole I don't recall. Now the only way you can prove that they had to recall if you have proven evidence that this is what it was and this is what you did. Because you know if you could flat out prove that, then you got them. But other than that, they all gonna fall back on I didn't know.
Yeah, well, take pictures of everything. You
Yeah.
need some proof.
Yeah.
Take your pictures of every little nook and cranny.
And you know how you're gonna get them? You're gonna get them because you know that there were contractors in there. You just gotta find the contractors. That's the key.
Well,
Well, I'll
they
tell you
know 'em.
this. One of the things that we had was a plumbing issue. And the young lady that was the seller, well, was working on behalf of the seller, she tried to reach out to him. And she said she called him, I don't know how many times she told me she called. She said he not even answering anymore.
Uh-oh.
So yeah. So they definitely she was like, you need to just go ahead. She was like, you should definitely tell your attorney and try to sue them. She was like, I reached out to this man 20 times, no lie. She said he done just up and disappeared. She said, yeah, you need to get
Trying
with your
to
attorney.
trying to ghost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there's a legal docket. He can't ghost totally, because he has to have an audit trail somewhere. If your lawyer is willing to look for that trail to find this man, it might be in his grandbaby's name or whatever, but there's a trail somewhere.
Well, the good thing is it's all fresh. You know, this is not like years later. This is like days later almost. So I'm
Right.
sure you can track them and get some restitution because it's very close. You know, usually these kind of instances or issues don't happen until like 6-8 months down the line, a year later. Wait a minute, I didn't know I didn't have a roof. But yeah, at least it's you find out right away. That's and you could probably get some restitution. But yeah, man, you know, the good thing is you live in the property. If you didn't live in the property, just imagine you had to go over there every day to do something.
Man.
Oh, and go on Judge Judy or Judge Mathis.
That's what they do.
Yeah, they go to Judge Judy. She tough.
Mm-hmm. It was something I was just thinking about, but in regards to president, but and stuff. Not. Oh, I know what I wanted to bring up. How Adams, the mayor of New York, how he ended up kissing the ring, and he got off on some convictions, I guess, indictments. I ain't gonna say convictions, indictments. I guess Trump told the upper courts to lay off and let him slide. I don't know what was going on, but I know he got him off. And then I heard a bunch of people from the court system, they started resigning. A bunch of judges and prosecutors. They just like seven of them resigned after that. Anybody heard about that?
Yeah, I heard about them resigning, but that was a dumb move on their part to resign because they still need a job.
I think it was something to the effect that if they didn't resign, it would have looked like they did something criminal because they were told to let Adams, you know, to leave that case alone or something. So
You think Adam is gonna go for Trump now? You think he gonna kiss Trump's behind because of that?
He's gonna kiss it like Rob Blagojevich.
Yeah.
Lips to the ass. Believe it. That's what Robert. Man, this is how crazy this stuff is. Rob Blagojevich, for the last 3 weeks. Oh, Donald Trump's helped me. He exonerated me. He commuted my sentence. He's going to give me a job. He's the best thing. He understands without being persecuted and this and that. And then, he's a guy just like me. And no, he's not, because he didn't put the orange jumpsuit on like he did. Don't say he ain't go to jail yet. So don't say that. He's like you. So I'm listening to Blagojevich, go on, and I thought about it. I said, the reason he went to jail is because of the stuff he's doing now. The dude won't shut up. He just talks and talks. And then to make it so bad, I look up the next day, and there's former, of course, Bob was the governor of Illinois, and I look up and I see the next governor, Quinn, talking about him, and he was his lieutenant governor. And then he ended up being governor on his own term or something. I can't remember. But I look up and I see Governor Quinn in front of his house, right down the street from where I live, a few blocks away. And I'm looking at him in the front of his house. He's dogging Blagojevich. Oh, he's a piece of crap. He's a criminal, this and that. I'm like, wait a minute. You were his lieutenant governor. But I'm like, this is politics, man, at its worst. At its worst.
Well, that's what Trump do. He find the underdog and he give him a big favor, and bring him over to the dark side, like he is.
But I'm telling you, I told someone, I said, the inmates are running the asylum now. It's like, it used to be a time you had the prison warden, you had the guards, you had, whatever else, and then you had the prisoners. Well, right now, you got the prisoners running the whole prison. Everybody that's involved. It's like, you got Steve Bannon. How did that guy get back involved? This Miller guy, Steve Mueller, I don't even know his name. I heard he's a piece of crap. I'm like, I just don't understand. We literally have the prisoners running the prison.
Well, corruption is taking over. That's the key. Find somebody corrupt and put them in office, and they can handle everything with that prison mentality they got, with a criminal mentality.
Somebody explain to me why Kanye feels that it's his duty to inject himself into all of this and say stupid stuff like, Hitler was great and Hitler was. I'm like, what is this dude talking about?
Kanye is a big fool. He's a big fool. He needs to take his psych meds.
He needs to do something, because Adidas, they dropped it there. I mean, I'm like, did he get dropped before? I heard somebody else dropped it. His manager just dropped him this week. His management service, a company, whatever it is, they dropped him. I'm like, man, what is going on with this guy? I don't know. It's chaotic in the world. And then we got the new, what is he, the vice president, I guess? I don't even. It sounds like he's an automotive store. What's his name? JD something. I'm like, is that like an automotive store or something?
You mean Vance?
Yeah. What's his name? Vance?
JD Vance.
Yeah. So I look up and I see him. He's over in Europe, in Germany, and he doesn't meet with the proper authorities in Germany. He meets with the Nazi Party people in Germany. And I'm like, okay, just show your racism. Let's bring it all out. Yeah.
But his wife is from India. She's Indian.
Don't mean nothing.
She's a woman of color.
Don't mean nothing. Slave masters screw black women. Yeah. But they hated black people.
That's true.
This goes on every day. This kind of backwards mentality. you know, hey, none of this really makes me think that nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. Anything you can think of will possibly be the sentiment of the day.
Yeah.
Because we're living in an upside down, crazy world. You know? But I'm going to say this, and you tell me if you heard this one. They say that 7% of the world people, and I think we have approximately 8 billion people in the world, 7% of them are white, are truly white people. So 93% of the rest of the world are people of color. So my question is, why do we have white superiority when they definitely don't have the numbers?
Well, they got the most money.
Well, not don't mean nothing. You got a lot of numbers outside of the money. I think it's because the people that are on the other side, 93%, are helping them. You're helping the ones that are keeping this crap going like this.
Oh, you mean the ones who think they white and they really ain't white?
Whatever their mentality is, they're helping. Because you can't tell me if I got 7 pennies in one pocket and 93 cents worth of coins in another pocket, that the 7 cents is going to dominate the 93 and buy more. 7 cents can't buy more than 93 cents. So you tell me how is the value of it get more? Because somehow something is leaching over and helping the 3 cents. I mean the 7 cents. It has to be. And I'm saying that because somebody's buying into the scrap and allowing the rest of it to happen. I.e. Herschel Walker.
Can I say something?
Absolutely. I shouldn't have said Herschel Walker.
No. I'm not a fan of Herschel Walker, but what you're saying is correct. Whites are okay. So if anybody is mixed race on this call, I'm not talking about you. What I'm talking about is the genetics. Whites are what we call a genetic anomaly or a mutation. So blacks really and truly from our lineage, most of humanity came from, because it's from our culture that you can actually get quite a few different colors or races, right? So if you think about it, what you're saying, it actually makes sense, and it doesn't make sense as to why they control so much of the dollar, like the actual dollars in circulation. But it is true, they have a small percentage, there's a small percentage of them in the world. Now why they control so much of the money, I don't know, but that is true.
Well, I believe it has to be. There's nothing else. There are other people that are helping them to make this manifest into what they want. I mean, look at our cultures. Period. What are the symbols of beauty in America? It ain't black culture. It ain't black beauty. It's typically something that's European or white. And, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying all of it has a space and a place, but it doesn't have to be dominant.
Steve,
Yes,
I think
Steve?
what happened is the 7 cents was used to buy the politicians, and they changed the rules So every penny was worth that they had was worth $1 billion, and cent, every cent that the rest of us have is worth a cent. So that's how the 7 cents, which is $7 billion,
Mhm.
bought more than the 93 cents buys. They just changed the rules by
Oh,
buying the politicians.
so he who has the sense controls the rules.
He who buys the politicians controls the.
Yeah.
Oh, but they used some of this. They didn't give it all to the politicians. They gave 3.5 cents to the politician, and the other 3.5 they bought the media.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Hey, you know what? I heard something about Bitcoin. Something. What was it? I can't recall, but it was somebody or something or somewhere they were saying that they're trying to only go Bitcoin. I can't remember where it was at, but anyway, it'll come to me. If anybody knows, let me know if you know. But yeah, man, it's
All I know about it is that the intention. I've just heard. I haven't heard any details, and I may not have this right, but the intention is instead of the dollar being the currency, that it would be the bitcoins, which the oligarchs can control because they've got all the wealth. So they just buy all the bitcoins to drive up or drive down the price of the coins.
got you. Maybe that's what it was. So okay, maybe somebody can enlighten me on this. What is this whole Brexit thing? Break that down to me.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but I was going to add, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in crypto. Um, I remember I was working for a doctor a while back, and one of the things he taught me was he says you never know which way the economy is going to flow, but whichever way it flows, gold and land are always valuable. And he said that if you don't have land, then you need to buy gold. And I just strongly urge everyone on this call, if you can buy gold, however little or uh, big it may be, I would invest in gold before I would invest in crypto, because just like they have AI and it can change, uh, whatever a person does, well, crypto is electronic. So if you've got $1 million in crypto, then all of a sudden you could have just $1,000. But gold and land never change. So I mean, I don't care anything about crypto. I think crypto is a passing fad, but who knows? It could wind up being something. But gold is always going to hold its value. Land is always going to hold its value. That's just my opinion. I just wanted to add that.
That's a strong, good opinion. Gold's been around. Gold's been around for eons, and land has been around for eons, and we need them.
There's one other thing Kiona didn't mention. Gold and land and time has been around longer than gold, and time is precious.
Yeah, and people are only allocated a certain amount, right?
That's what I understand. It's 24 hours.
Right.
That is very true. And another thing, another thing that I was taught, but it was by my father. And he always said, always, although he tried doing this, it just did not pan out for him. But he says, with a job, you're just a chair. And if you give up that chair, they can put someone else in that chair. You are committed to 8 hours a day at least. Some jobs is more than that. And that is time you can never get back. But if you invest in yourself and you become an entrepreneur, then you control your time. Yes, there are some days where you have to make work more or less when it starts up. But if you work hard at it, it can pay off and you get your time back. So yes, time is currency, but it depends on how you use it, because you can still take that job and use it correctly and invest your money, and in 15, 20 years time you can earn that time back, but you
Mhm.
have to be wise in your dealings. So yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. Time is a currency too.
And DeAndre, for example, invested his time in his education. And, so no matter what you do with your time, just do it with wisdom.
And what I do, Barry?
You invested your time in your education.
Oh, most definitely, most definitely. Now we finna switch it up. Now it's time to get rich.
Well, you've got a lot of education,
Yeah,
and
I know. Now it's time to get
hopefully,
rich. Now it's time
yeah.
to see if the American dream is true or if they sold me a lie. Because
Well,
y'all white people lie good in the motherfucker.
Welcome to the nightmare, huh?
Yeah, we
Mhm.
finna see.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you brought that point up about education because I was always told as long as you're educated and you get that paper, that's one thing they can never take away from you is your knowledge, and how you use it is up to you. Um, I honestly believe these days people are pulling away from education.
Oh, for sure.
Formally, like we have gone and we're told and to follow. I mean, to be honest with you, it's still one of the better ways to learn and become skilled in some cases on certain things.
Oh,
But
look, I'm an advocate of education, but I'm like this. Go to school to be a specialist. Don't go to school for any of this trivial, ignorant stuff. A lot of this liberal shit. People be going to school for art and all that. Like, bro, you don't need no damn degree for that. Like, don't go waste your time and somebody else's money going to school for something that ain't a specialty. Go
if
get
you
you a
were
specialty. You be all right.
want to be a teacher or professor, you gotta.
Oh well, yeah, for sure, yeah, yeah. But even then, though, go to school for something that makes sense. Like it's great to learn history, but being a history teacher, you ain't getting paid. And nobody gonna even care about it.
Well, you can go to plumbing school or HVAC or electrician or something like that.
Agreed. People
I agree
should
with
go,
that because everybody's not meant to go to college.
and people should look. I still, sitting here playing with this house really reignites my curiosity to go to school for to be an electrician. So I still want to do that. I don't care that I'm a doctor. I want to go and get some education in to be an electrician.
You'll make more money.
Well,
Yeah.
it comes down to whatever you choose. Um, use as much wisdom as you have, and you never know which way it's going to come out.
Yeah.
True,
I
true.
don't disagree. Yeah.
You cross the street, you may find out when you get to the other side that you won the lottery, or you may find out you got hit by a car. You know, just life happens.
Damn,
But use it as wisely as you can, and use your
yeah.
time, because your time is just
Speaking of life, you just turned what 80? What you at, Barry? 95, 96?
102.
Damn. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You sound
So,
good, man.
so you're saying I sound young, huh? For
Yeah.
102?
102, man. That's what's up.
he and Miss Drummond are hanging out at the same country club, I guess.
I thought he was on his way to Bricks.
Yeah, right.
Nah, that's what's up. But how old did you just turn, Barry?
84.
Oh man, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. But you know, it's every moment you got. That's what counts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, 84 is just a number. It's you know, what you do with your body, what you do with your soul. It's just the whole ball of wax.
I agree.
And the most important thing, what do you do with your mind?
Yeah.
Because the mind drives it all. You know, and hopefully your mind tells you to help somebody. You know.
Stay active. Don't sit around doing nothing, and exercise your brain. Do lots of puzzles and stuff and trivia.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things I
Well,
wanted. Go ahead.
can I mention one thing, Steve?
Yeah, go ahead.
About what Ella just said. I think the big puzzle for me is how do we get past this time in a way that's going to support all of us and have stronger, better communities, and just get into a positive track, because so many people are just afraid and hurting and not in action. And we need to be in action, using our time.
That's the question, right? Total unity from their deeply. That's the question, right? You're putting forth to support from Democrats who are outraged by the GOP efforts to rip apart. That's the question, right, Barry?
What's the question?
What you just said.
Oh, what I was saying was, we've got a very real life puzzle, or at least that's the way I feel. I mean, that's what really occupies my mind, is how do we come together and we should have, given as much technology as we have, we should all be like millionaires, every one of us, because we're enormously productive. And that's just not happening. So how do we bring about something much more positive than what we've got, where we're not scrambling for crumbs?
Oh shit. Oh.
What was that?
Nah, that's me going in and out of my basement, trying to see. I just had to perform surgery on the front loader. I got one of them energy efficiency joints, so it wasn't putting no water in there. So I had to go take the top off and screw this thing, and now it's working like a charm. I tell you one thing about home ownership: when you fix some shit that was previously not working, you feel like $1 million. I feel like a man now. I can go get a beer.
Go to Bricks down the street.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? Man.
No, Barry was saying that Ness was saying, we gotta know how to use our time, and time is of the essence, and it's a precious thing right now. And how do we utilize it for the betterment of all? I guess that's what we summarizing.
What do you suggest, Barry?
Right. Thank you. I pray that I am successful in getting this done. because essentially it's repairing the world. The whole world is really hurting now. This isn't just a U.S. phenomenon that we're going through.
This is true. Everybody's affected. Excuse me. Everybody's affected, and everybody's looking at the U.S. You know, it's funny because what's that? The book called, or the story, the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, the emperor has no clothes.
Yeah, right.
The little kid cries out, "The emperor has no clothes."
He's the only
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Everybody,
gonna get worse before it gets better. So hang on. We're in for a real roller coaster ride.
we gotta work together though. That's the key. We gotta figure out how to work together. And one of the things that's coming up is I don't know if anybody knows about it, but they're talking about the blackout on February 28th, where they don't want people to spend money, namely at Target, because Target is one of the companies that they said got rid of their diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, and now the shareholders are complaining because they're losing money because people are backing out of Target, I guess, and now there's a big push out there to put the clamps on Target by not buying from them, and I think not just electronically online, but they want people to go out and mobilize and protest and stop people from going in and buying. So there's a big movement for this February 28th blackout, they call it. I think it's
Well, why just Target? I thought Walmart, I heard something, maybe I'm wrong. And Walmart was involved with it too.
so there
All
are
the
other
people.
there are other I just said Target for example, but there are others, and really they're saying they want you to buy local and black, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm saying Target, Walmart, Amazon, some of the big boys, a lot of the big boys.
Right. I mean,
You know, that could be very successful because I remember when Jesse Jackson, I think it was the 60s or 70s, we had a boycott. And I think it was on gasoline or something. And a lot of people went and did it, and it made a big difference. And he was successful in that boycott. I can't remember exactly what it was on. But
probably
that,
in the
yeah, they call it a boycott instead of a blackout.
boycott.
Mm-hmm.
But my problem with boycotts, especially in this age, this new age, people will go and boycott these stores and not spend their $100 that week, and then 2 weeks later they go spend $400 at the place. What would you?
That's
Like,
okay. That's giving them a wake up call, letting them know that we do have some power.
yeah, but you can't go back and play catch up.
But that's all right. That one day, they lost more than that little $400 you spent the next week. And it showed them that we do have power and we can be in control of things. So,
Then
you know,
they saying that all we got to do is wait them out, and we'll get it all and some more. You
yeah,
got to be a
yeah.
little in that. You have to be able to shift your power. You can't,
Yeah.
you need products and you need the services. So you got to say the ones that's not treating you fair, equitable, and right, no longer. I got to go somewhere where people are going to treat me fair, equitable, and right. But for some reason, we live in a country where they claim up with, because of the Vanderbilts and the what are the barons, what they call them, billionaires,
the robber barons.
robber barons of exactly of yesteryear. We're not supposed to have monopolies. But somebody please explain to me what Amazon is. If it ain't a monopoly, what is
Yeah,
it?
all of
It's
them.
like,
Amazon, Google.
yeah. How did this happen? We're supposed to have what they call them,
Yeah,
law, anti-monopoly, but it's another word. Not
antitrust.
monopoly.
Yeah, well, the reason we don't is because the 7 cents that the people had, 3.5 went to the politicians, and the other 3.5 went to the media. So you know, so they changed the rules and they changed what people are hearing. The people
Man.
are hearing nothing about the real protests, about the impact of all these things, how many people are really being hurt by these actions.
I think this is a great time in life so that people can start their own, but this is the problem. We talk about monopolies and antitrust clauses and monopoly busting, but the reality is everything we get, it comes from the earth. So at one point or another, wherever you get it from, if you start out, say I start a new Amazon, I'm going to get the stuff from the same place that he was getting it from.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the idea would be business wouldn't be performed the same. There would be some ideologies and thought patterns that would promote and encourage the consumer to buy products through me because it would be better for them in the long run. And you got to have that marketing and strategy approach to make that happen. That's what it really is.
Well,
and what's the other thing? Marketing and advertising strategies to capture that, because everything comes from the same place, pretty much, right?
Yeah. The more we grow the economy and use more, make more stuff, the more we deplete the earth of its resources. And what for?
Look, I just found out today that this 25% tariff that Trump's putting on Mexico is going to affect avocados because avocados come from Mexico. So instead of paying
Gonna be messing with Macados, man.
Yeah,
man. Macados.
It's gonna go up from $6 for I think $6 for 6 to $8.25 or something like that for 6. So hey, the tariff obviously is doing what it's supposed to do. What I was gonna tell you.
But what do you all think about him discontinuing the minting of pennies? Because it costs $3 to make a penny or something silly like that.
They've been talking about that for a minute.
Yeah, but see what it is, it's gonna raise the prices on everything because now we have to round everything off to the next nickel or the nearest dollar. That penny saved a lot.
You don't think that
99.99.
you don't think they're going to round it down?
Huh?
So you don't think they're gonna take it round it down?
No, oh heck to the no. No.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that, but that's a really good point.
Tell everybody this, but what they're really trying to do is get rid of all hard currency. Period.
True. And they're trying to pressure everybody to go into that Bitcoin mess, which is not gonna happen. Not with me.
Well,
either Bitcoin or the credit card or checking account, so everything can be tracked. So all the cash gets tracked.
Mm-hmm.
So it's another. They've got two ways to control you. One is you're not going to have enough money, and the second is, and the money you get, we know just what you spent it on, where you spent it, and if we don't like it, I don't
Man.
know.
I mean, I can't purchase no more nudies. Dang. That kind of
No.
sucks.
No, they may be cheaper than ever with this.
What it means is you got to pay a tax on everything that you didn't report. If you're doing this and you're buying that and you had this much and you bought that much, where's my cut, Mr. Uncle Sam? That's all it is. They're tracking your dollars. They're tracking how much you really spend and how much you claim you earn. And it's like, that ain't adding up. You said you earned this much and you paid taxes for this much. But you really spent that much, so where did that come from? You owe me. Uncle Sam wants you to pay him. That's all it is. You know, I get it.
Only if you don't have much money.
Exactly. If you're rich and you're a multi-trillionaire, they ain't watching that.
And you give the campaign donation.
What we got to do then? We got to put our money together so they don't take it from us. Put our money together and give it to the electors.
Well, you know, the other thing you could do that would really freak them out is help each other.
Yeah, that too. I'm about to start gardening on my roof, man. So, you know, if y'all need avocados, let me know. I'm trading avocados for something else.
There you go. You're gonna have a rooftop garden.
Yep. Sure am.
You got the space, might as well use it. No one will get up there to take it. You won't have problems with coyotes and squirrels. Well, maybe squirrels, you know, they might climb up there. But other
I don't know
vermin.
if this is true or not, but somebody said it's actually a write-off to have a rooftop garden. So I don't know. I'm gonna look into it though. I definitely intend to have a rooftop garden for sure.
You want to also make sure that you don't mess up your roof.
Right.
I'm just gonna put a bed up there. That's all.
Yeah, you still gotta make sure that your load is, you know. Right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And walking and, you know, all that stuff.
All right.
Load and whatever.
And
you got a new roof?
You don't.
Huh?
Is it a new roof?
I want to hesitate to say yeah, just considering the work that they did all throughout this place. Definitely don't come off as new. But it's definitely they redid it for sure. I don't know if it's newer though.
Well, you can tell when you get up there if it feels too spongy, that means they didn't tear it off. And well, you should have noticed it because it would have been.
I don't feel anything that seemed too spongy though. I guess that's a good thing.
No,
but I don't know, you know. But I filled out for this neighborhood opportunity fund, so we'll see if I get it. And they fixed the roof though, so if there is any issues and I have some money left over, I'm definitely gonna throw it up there on the roof.
Yeah, you just want to make sure, because you don't want too many layers on the roof because it could be bad for.
I think they said when I had my roof done, they said 3 was the max because it's heavy. The roof, the stuff they put on is real heavy.
Right.
And it might cave in on you.
Yeah, the rubber roofs, they're pretty heavy, along with if you had previous tar with the pebbles and all this other stuff. But yeah, if it's really spongy, that means that you got too many layers. And if it's a tear off, you'll be able to tell it. You'll feel a vibration in it more than the sponginess.
It didn't feel too spongy, so that's a good thing, I suppose.
You could tap on it and feel also. Then you can look from some angles.
If you buy your own lunch, it would just be a Lay's potato chip sandwich.
You don't have a leak. You don't have a leak. That's the first part.
Oh, well, I definitely got I'm leaking from somewhere for sure.
You joking?
Oh, yeah.
Not bad. So not bad, but yeah, I definitely got because you can see it in my front room. You can see along where the drywall would be. You see a wet line going straight where the damn drywall at. So
Is it in the front of the house or is it towards the rear?
it's in the front of the house, towards the front.
Okay. So that might be a good thing because that's easy to trace now. That tells you that it's in one spot at the front.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But it could be traveling because so what I could see is that at one point, or unless maybe they stuff anyway, so if you go outside of my apartment up here and you look to where the banister or the end of the balcony is, and you look up, you can see what looks to be a potential skylight. And then you see the wood right there. And in that exact spot, if you were to go upstairs on the roof, you can see that they put it's I don't know how you would call, I don't know what kind of housing.
It's not flashing. They don't have the flashing around it, right? That's what it is.
No, they do they do got the flash stuff around it, the little silver, whatever that is. But that piece itself has so whereas the rest of the roof is flat, that piece is sticking up. I don't know how the best to describe it, but I could tell that. And then right there, I when I went up there to look at it, I could see pooling water sitting on top of that structure, whatever that structure is, where that skylight is. And so that's letting me know that that's where that water is probably getting in at. And then you could see in some spaces where it looks like they need to go back up there and torch it to press it down. Because you could see it lifting up in some spaces. Not bad, but you could definitely see it lifting up.
You shouldn't see any lifting on a rubber roof.
Yeah, you could see. Yeah, you could definitely see a little bit, not none too crazy, but you could see it though for sure.
But
DeAndre, the way to begin to find out about stuff like that is take photographs, and then bring it with you when you're talking to somebody, because then you can show them instead of trying to put it in words.
Right. Yeah, I'll do that next time for sure.
And you said it's at the front. When you said it's traveling, when you say the front, I imagine you meant the very front of the building. But
yeah, yep. Pretty much at the front. Yep.
So if it's at the front of the building where you see the leak internally, then it really isn't traveling. It's right there because the roof slopes on an angle. What is it, Barry? About 15 degrees or something, 15, 20 degrees.
Enough for the water
to run off, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's really and it's right there where that little skylight situation is.
Yeah. So you take up close-ups and then you take long shots so you can see the context of where it is. So when you're talking to Steve, he'd know just where you're dealing.
Yeah, but he's in a good position because it's not traveling, because it is at the
right. No, it's literally right there in that one location.
And I'm gonna tell you what it is right now. It's more than likely you have a crack. What they call those things, those caps, Fury. The coping stones, I think they call them.
Oh yeah, we got yep.
And the water's creeping through the pit.
So the next time you go to wherever you're going, hardware store, Menards, wherever you're going, if you have your photographs with you, you can ask people, who work in a particular department, whether they would know, or Steve.
Right. No, I'm gonna do that. In fact, because we pretty much got the day off tomorrow, I'll probably end up getting up there tomorrow and trying to see what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So hey, y'all, we at the top of the hour. We got to go ahead and see what everybody got to say in the conclusion. So go ahead, Barry. You got anything in conclusion? Because tomorrow, what's the holiday tomorrow?
President's Day.
President's Day, right?
We're
Yeah.
we're celebrating all the past presidents. Almost all.
Nothing.
We got a new president, Barry. Why we can't celebrate the new president too, man?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying.
Wow.
Day of tears.
What you got?
Yeah, day
What
of
you got
tears.
in conclusion?
In conclusion, I think people coming together and helping each other and tracking the time. So we start doing time exchanges, because as people get squeezed for dollars, we need to have some way of continuing to help each other instead of it just being dollars, because you may know some roofers or some people who help a roofer, or there's a lot of people that we're connected with, and we need to have a starting list of a dozen categories.
Excellent
And we start making lists of who can help with repairs, and who can help with health issues, or whatever, all of the categories we need. So
excellent point, because this morning Miss Jacobs called that she needed someone for snow removal for parking lot with a snow plow, and I was like, man, I know somebody, but I couldn't think of the person at the time. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So we need like an online directory, and that's what Time Exchanges is.
And don't forget the
what,
meeting is next Friday, right?
yeah, this coming Friday, in the morning, 10 a.m. to noon. So please join us, because we all need each other, and that's what the purpose of our meetings is, to connect and look for ways we can really help each other get through these challenging times.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Arnold, you there? What you got in conclusion? All right, Arnold. What about you, D? Go ahead.
Man, I ain't got nothing, man. Just and y'all, it's gonna be it's an interesting 4 years. Oh man, look here. Something that happened today, man. Speaking of politicians, so in the 10th district, the district counselor, she had put something on her Facebook, on her social media. I don't know which one it was, but anyway, it was in reference to a police involved shooting over there, where the officer ended up shooting a guy that lunged at them with a knife. His family said that he was having a mental health episode. And so she, in her post, put that they were having a meeting to discuss the police murderers in the district. And so the alderman and 2 aldermen took exception to the wording that she used, and they called her out for it. And so today she had showed us as a group that somebody emailed her city email and was like, listen here, you N-word, B-word, with the hard ER, and said something, like in a threatening way, like, and I'm gonna be at that next meeting, so I'm gonna see you. I'm like, oh man, this shit crazy, man. So a bunch of us was gonna be there. I'm gonna be there too with my pistol, and I want somebody to touch her. Touch her.
I think it's I think it's all getting bent out of shape.
But yeah, but it's very, very inflammatory. So I brought that up because that's the nature of the times, and so we need each other more now than ever for sure. And get your concealed carry too. It's a concealed carry state, so get your UWAP. Cause some of these guys ain't playing fair, and they ain't got a whole deck.
Now, this is the crazy thing about that is that people have gone from, well, I'm going to make you earn your $500 a month. Now they're threatening people with their lives for $500 a month.
Man, come on, talk to me. It's crazy. It's crazy times we living in, boy.
Well, two reasons it's crazy. One is the inequality of resources, and secondly, the media is just amplifying everything and riling people up and pitting people against each other. So we need to be talking to each other and helping each other. We need to come together.
We need to come together right now.
Yeah.
I forgot the rest. I forgot how the rest of that song go, but y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Ella, you got anything in conclusion?
Nothing much. Great conversation. I enjoyed talking to everybody and getting a different perspectives on how
These
we're
are
heading in the wrong direction.
You don't even eat almonds.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm talking to my cat.
Oh.
He's trying to beg me for almonds. He don't even eat almonds.
Oh.
Okay, so no Facebook, no.
Is that,
Hey, hey, Ella.
Hey, Barry.
who is that on iPhone?
Is that me? I'm on iPhone.
That's not you. Yours say Ella.
Oh, okay.
Who's on iPhone? Anybody on iPhone got anything in conclusion? Is that April?
It's Kim. You guys have a great week. I enjoyed the conversation. Stay warm and stay safe.
Absolutely. We appreciate that. And of course, himself has to be himself.
The transition period going on about what he would potentially do. But one thing we can take away.
That's Himbo Slice.
Hard line.
Yeah, that's Himbo Slice.
Is
Say what?
In your background.
Oh.
Arnold.
Yeah.
What you got in conclusion?
Oh, nothing much. I'm going to bring my letter, give to DeAndre for next Sunday. So when I show up.
DeAndre said, go get your registered concealed carry to bring that next Sunday.
Yeah, bring your UWAP, man.
Hey, we were discussing going down to St. Louis for Yaqui.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna bring them up here?
Well, I talked to the congressman about it, and we'll take a show up and then leave.
Okay, nice. That'd be dope.
If you're interested, that's only 4 hours. The more, less driving on one person.
Oh yeah, I take that drive. It's cool.
All right.
The holiday tomorrow, though. I'm going to the auto show. That's the last day tomorrow for the auto show. I want to go. I got some extras, passes or whatever. But last but not least, Kiana. And is it Kiana or I know we say Kiona, but
Kiona?
It's Kiana. It's Kiana.
I know she spelled it with
Kiana. Yeah.
With a Q.
Not with a K. Kiana. But I just want to say, great show, everybody. I always enjoy everybody's conversation and how everybody thinks. although we don't all, think the same, we all can come together and get a perspective and continue this great American experiment.
Yeah.
So, be safe, everybody, and good luck to everybody this week.
I got one question. What's
Mhm.
going on with your governor? He's a big diversity, equity, and inclusion anti guy. But did he not realize he's in a wheelchair? And that includes him?
We have mixed reviews on Governor Hot Wheels. That's what my family and that's what we call him, Governor Hot Wheels. Um, I just it's like he forgets about certain things, but I don't know if he forgets or he wants to forget, or I don't know. I don't know about that guy sometimes.
Does he not realize there are laws been in place to assist and help people that are handicapped?
Mhm.
Places where you see the curbs have been cut so that people can go up and down without assistance from others. That's
Mhm.
because of laws, that included them. That's the
Mhm.
inclusion. But it's the same thing. Like you said, you don't understand why people would go against their own interests. It's just like the black guy that's dating the white woman, or the white woman that's dating the black guy, and then on the same note, they don't like their own kind.
And then
Like,
too, some he may be in. I've heard this, that some billionaires, some Texan billionaires, have him in his back pocket. So in their back pocket. So I honestly don't know. I know there's two billionaires that may be funding his decisions. That's what I should say.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who we got next, y'all? Yes, that's it. If y'all ready to conclude, I'm ready to conclude.
Well, have a good night, everyone. Good luck to us this week.
Thank you. Same to you, Barry.
Yeah.
Good
All right, Barry.
night.
Okay,
Good
bye
night,
Good
bye.
everyone.
night.
Good
y'all.
night.
Bye.
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 It's not you, it's me. I know what you mean. I just don't like you. You're impulsive. Okay, great. Now you have no job. Actually, I have some good news. I got a job at the institute.
All right, y'all. Have a good weekend. Good night, all. Later. See you at Bricks. Okay, I got it. I'm coming out.